No, 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 no. Update 23.4.0 brings a lot of no, 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 no. Please, please, no. I'm saying this, but sadly it is true. And I will go to the assembly side of this because there is a new prism, the RAM prism. There's also the new scaffolding, the FAD, this scaffolding, and there is a new brace, which is actually the one that is selected. This means there is technically a new amp, which is needed for taking on the Eidolons, and this is problematic, and the reason that this video started like this simply comes down to the fact of, well, I got really lazy when it came to the Eidolons, and I never finished maxing this out, and you needed that one for one, that for the next one, that one for the next one. So I'm just going to take a guess and say this new one. I was right, wasn't I? Yep. There's the brace. There's the scaffold. And there's the prism. They're all behind the new. Oh, it's not new, but they're all behind the next level. Is it all behind the next level? Instrument. Yep. I'm going to have to finish leveling this up so I can get the new parts. I wish they would just make these things tradable. Just the blueprints, not the build parts. That would make this so much easier, and I would have to spend less time trying to form this because, well, Eidolons. But speaking of amps, while we're here, the Moat amp has had a damage increase slightly as part of the conversion to a beam-based weapon compared to what it was. The Raplak Prism has had its damage increased from 1,000 to 3,000, 3 times the damage. Its crit increased from 30% to 38%, its crit damage increased from 2.2 to 2.6, but its fire rate decreased from 5.24 to 2. Similar story for the Granmu Prism. Its damage has been increased from 1,000 to 4,000. Its range has been increased from 3 meters to 3.5. Its direct impact damage, though, has been decreased from 1,200 to 1,000. The Penka Scaffold has had a 2 meter punch through added, and the Klebrick Scaffold has had its damage increased slightly as part of the conversion. This is also something to do with the way it was changed earlier in the year, but basically it's had its damage slightly increased. Doesn't actually give numbers on that because it's a change that's happened earlier in the year. They've just refined it a bit. Then at the back of the relays, all the way up these elevators at the back here, we have Old Orange Face here, Simaris. He actually has something very, very, very useful. I was going to cover this after the dojo decorations, but I think I'll do them after this, simply because, and in theory, if we come all the way over here, oh, he had to put his face up, didn't he? Whoa, what is that? Oh, play the finest games. Oh, yes, actually, that is much better than I was expecting it to be. Why is Wyrmius here? A broken derelict plaza. I had that. Why don't I have that anymore? Happy Zephyr is also here, and you have to pay 25,000 standing for it. So, Happy Zephyr, Wyrmius. Where's the other one? Ah, look, there it is. Play the finest games in this. They have released a games console, which you have to get from Cephalon Simaris to play Frame Fighter, and then you have to buy Happy Zephyr and Wyrmius as add-ons. I know this is a free game and everything else, but having to buy a games console and then having to buy the game separately inside of a game, that just doesn't seem right. And we all know when playing games, it's nice to have somewhere to sit so you don't have to stand playing it, but locked, because obviously I didn't pick them up, and Frame Fighter. But this actually, it has turned out to be better than expected. I couldn't figure out how to roll backwards though, which everybody else seemed to be doing. I just couldn't get it to work. But the whole Frame Fighter was inspired by Loco Crazy, And I think that's right. Yes, it is. And this whole idea was basically theirs, and Digital Extreme kind of went, that's a good idea. And now, didn't expect to come across a lot of people that they're actually giving you time to figure out the controls and other things before just jumping in and straight up annihilating you, which I will admit I kind of did a couple times. Not straight away, but sometimes you just accidentally press the right combination of buttons and perform lots of things. But because this has come out, there will probably be a lot of updates in the next few days fixing bugs and everything else in this, like this bit where you can bounce up and down on your opponent's head. The other things that I kind of completely forgot about is there is only 3 frames to this at the moment. You can either have your mag, you can of course choose between the prime and the normal one, and again between your 3 different colours. I don't think I have any that's too embarrassing colour wise, nope. Or you can use your volt, which surprisingly enough, same thing, you can have the A setting, B setting. This seems to be just appearance based, and oh, that's his deluxe skin. Couldn't figure out what that was for a second there. And then inside of the dojo there is a whole new set of decorations, and I'm just going to go back to where I was looking at Frosty the Snowman family, and yes, technically it is a family because there's the children and the... yeah, it's just there's no tree there because I'm an idiot and I removed it, so we'll look over this way instead. There is a whole new set, the nature set. Now from everything I was reading, I was expecting with all of these for that sandbox room to turn up with them, but yeah, everything is in here. There is different plants, different rock formations. There it is, the icy rocks. There's ice formations, ice glaciers, pillars, ice everywhere. Lure shards, so you could have the lure things. That glowing effect there, that could be pretty cool. Maple trees inverted, that's... oh, intertwined. I didn't think that was right. Rocks from what was originally Phobos, but I think is now Mars. Then we have some of the rarer... oh, I remember looking all over the place for the jade leaf plants when they first came out. And now you can just put one in your dojo. They do seem to be quite expensive. Mine is a mountain clan, I think, not a moon clan. We have down trees, glowing plants. There is so much. Honestly, this image from the forums, link to the entire forum post for this update, by the way, will be in the description below, is... it just goes into it much more, and the flowers on the left and right there, the broken tree above the door, the rock formations, that just looked really nice. The only thing that really inspired me from all of this, more than anything else, is simply this, and you can actually see where it goes, and trust me, that took me way longer than I would like to admit to place. It's a waterfall, and I kid you not, it's called a waterfall, a gentle waterfall. I was really hoping for one bigger than this, and after going through, couldn't really find it. That was just gentle waterfall. And we all know there's nothing a dojo needs more than a random water leak in the middle of the dojo that goes absolutely nowhere. And that seems to be it. Frame Fighter has arrived. There's a bunch of new decorations in the dojo. Some of them, yeah, people are going to go completely nuts and make some amazing things with that. They've changed the way that a lot of the amps worked, added a new amp, and added a games console into a... unfortunately, yes, this is only available on the PC at the moment. This will be coming to console fairly soon. That we're talking about already working on it. I think during the last dev stream they said this was going to come out pretty soon, and the next dev stream is tomorrow or later today, depending on where you are actually. So Warframe has just added a games console, and to make it even worse, you have to buy the DLC. Sorry, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.